Hello again. Melandra Burrows, that was her name. Peter Pan woman. Really, really lovely. Anyway, we're not talking about that anymore. We're talking about something else. What are we going to talk about next? Basic precaution when walking onto stage. This is my hot tip. Walking onto stage and it's pitch black. Now you think, well, that's quite dangerous. You shouldn't go onto a stage if it's pitch black. But the question is, who turns the bloody lights on in the first place? Before you walk onto the stage with the lights on, some poor sod's got to do it. And interestingly enough, several theatres, in my experience, don't have light switches by the door. You have to walk in complete darkness and then feel your way around the walls, find the light switches and turn the lights on so you can see what's going on. Some of you might have a romantic notion of a light bulb on a stick in the middle of the stage being left burning. Fantastic idea. Doesn't happen very often as far as I can see. Anyway, so what you do, you walk in pitch black. My top tip here is, as you walk onto stage, do this. Now, the reason I'm doing that is not because I'm a fully trained dancer, although I did actually get a degree in dance, I should point out. No, the reason you're doing that is because if overnight any bars have been left flown in over the stage, you're quite likely to walk into the end of one, which really, really hurts. So these are the flown bars that scenery gets tied to. They're like sort of scaffold tube, and they're really painful. And you can tell if someone's walked into them because they have little round circles on their forehead, or you hear them crying or swearing. A friend of mine in the West End, which I should refer to as Phil Big, that's not his real name. His real name is Phil Large, but we called him Big because that's how imaginative we were. Anyway, Phil Big walked onto the stage one day, as far as I know, doing this to make sure it was nice, perfectly all right, didn't hit his head on any bars, fell down a trapdoor that'd been left open instead, which just goes to show. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. What I thought we'd talk about are animals. Animals on stage. What can go wrong, I hear you cry? In my experience, virtually everything can go wrong. Years ago, I was doing a season at the Nuffield Theatre in Southampton, doing some really good shows, and for reasons that now escape me, I was dressed as a gendarme, even though I was the prop maker at the theatre and not actually an actor. They needed a lot of gendarmes, clearly. My dog at the time, Max, who was nothing really like Bill, those of you who know Bill, Max wasn't like that. He was different colour and different shape, to be honest. Anyway, Max decided that he would go on stage just before curtain up and do a wee. So he did. And then ran off. So I chased him and I ended up having to run down the streets of Southampton in the rain shouting, "Max, you bastard, come back," dressed as a gendarme. Anyway, got him back and decided then that I probably wouldn't allow him on the stage again. I had another encounter with a dog, Gypsy Rose Lee. What was that called? Gypsy, yeah, that show. Anyway, a woman in that had her out of Heidi High, what's the face? Anyway, she was playing the mother, and she had a dog, bloody horrible dog. She hated the dog, let alone everybody else hated the dog. And obviously when the dog wasn't on set, it had to stay in the stage management office. Right little sod it was. Anyway, most interestingly, I found, there were dogs in Chitty Bang Bang as well, loads of the bastards, and they got paid. Do you know they got paid, some of the good dogs, 200 quid a week for a bloody dog? It's not as if they're going to spend it on anything. Anyway, camels. Many years ago I did a Royal Variety Show and we had a camel on it. Nothing particularly dangerous happened, but I would just point out that this is how weird the world is. This camel, I can't remember what it's called, I haven't a clue what it's called. Say it's called Keith the camel. Transpired, it had a stage name as well. It's a fucking camel. Why does it have a stage name? He didn't know what his name was anyway. It wasn't in any way trained. It was big, it had large nostrils, massive feet, bigger than a horse. Its stage name, I don't know, Dave, something like that. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, so I think that's just about covered animals, hasn't it? In absolute detail. I'll talk to you again soon about possibly explosives. Yeah, we'll do explosives next time. Cheers.